coming from HURIWA to Senate. Now, HURIWA to Senate, based on the headline, which says HURIWA to Senate, Simon Ekpa's extradition demand is half-hearted if Nnamdi Kanu isn't released. Again, HURIWA to Senate, Simon Ekpa's extradition demand is half-hearted if Nnamdi Kanu isn't released or freed. Now, civil rights advocacy group, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, on Thursday described as half-hearted and hypocritical the demand by the Senate that Finland-based pro-Biafran agitator Simon Ekpa be extradited and prosecuted for the illegal Monday sit-at-home in the southeastern region and geopolitical zone, and the attendant violence, killings, and gargantuan economic losses recorded in Imo, Enugu, Anambra, Ebonyi, and Abia. The rights group wondered why the Senate failed to demand immediate freedom for the illegally detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, whose charges by immediate powers of President Muhammadu Buhari were dismissed, and Nnamdi Kanu ordered to be released by the Court of Appeal. Now, HURIWA, in a statement by its national coordinator, Comrade Emmanuel Onwubiko, however, said that the upper chamber must also use its legislative power to compel the executive led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to arrest and prosecute former Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo, and also for illegal possession of firearms and threats to Igbo people on viral videos. The group said that Dokubo must be arrested for operating a secret army which he is using to oppress the Nigerian citizenry, despite the properly constituted and constitutionally recognized Nigerian army. The Red Chamber had on Wednesday condemned the Monday sit-at-home in Southeast and asked the federal government to collaborate with the Finnish government and extradite Simon Ekpa. The upper chamber also resolved to invite the Minister of Foreign Affairs, when appointed, and relevant stakeholders to carry out a thorough investigation, as well as bring other sponsors of the act to book. The unconstitutional order was declared in 2021 to press home demands for the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, who is being detained by the Department of State Services (DSS) and prosecuted for terrorism-related charges. HURIWA's Onwubiko said the Senate will be deemed to be populated with opportunistic anarchists and hypocrites if they fail to use the template applied to Simon Ekpa to demand the immediate arrest of Asari Dokubo and the disbandment of his private army. The extradition of Simon Ekpa is what we had advocate for persistently, and the Senate call is a welcome development and idea. However, Asari Dokubo must not be spared but be arrested, and the security agencies must also immediately end the barbaric killings and unprecedented orgy of violence turning the southeast geopolitical zone in a bloody field. Wow, this is coming from HURIWA. Well, at first I was like, what does HURIWA represent? What does it stand for? Or what does it stand for? And in other words, what is the business of HURIWA to Senate concerning Simon Ekpa's extradition demand? Because it is half-hearted if Nnamdi Kanu isn't even free. That is another angle. But to buttress the point he uses, which is the civil rights advocacy group, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, represented by Onwubiko, Emmanuel Onwubiko, that if Nnamdi Kanu is not released, then it is half-hearted that extradition of Simon Ekpa be demanded for. And the Onwubiko also, buttress and by saying that Asari Dokubo, the ex-Niger Delta militant, or rather the Niger Delta militant, because the bloodline of militancy might still emanate one way or another. But as it is, even in the southeast that we have Asari Dokubo maintaining that he also have a firm, a security firm, or I don't know, maybe he has a group of militants also that he floated. Asari Dokubo must not be spared but be arrested, and the security agencies must immediately end for the barbaric killings and unprecedented orgy of violence turning the southeast geopolitical zone in a bloody field. Well, if I may ask, I'll say, is it Asari Dokubo that is giving the sit order or sit at home order in southeast, or is also fueling uh, the determination of the IPOB or following their trend? HURIWA's own people said the Senate will be deemed to be populated with opportunistic, anarchists, and hypocrites if they fail to use the template applied to Simon Ekpa to demand also the immediate arrest of Asari Dokubo and the disbandment of his private army. That is the point we're going to. His private army, his private entity, his private security parastatal, his own government. Oh God. Well, you're free to do that, but provided he's not violent. That's what I believe. Because the unconstitutional order, which was declared in 2021 to press home demand for the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, who is being detained by the Department of State Services, Department of Secret Services, DSS, and prosecuted for terrorism-related charges. I like this narration. Say terrorism-related charges, related, because it was the DSS or the government, who prescribed IPOB as being illegal security outfit, or they are prescribed, not even existing. But in other words, the Department of State Service, the Department of Secret Service, and the government are working together, but they are just, zombie go. They will just go act the way they feel, not even by instruction, because it is unconstitutional for you as an official to remain outlaw. No, law and order. There is no monopoly of power, because no one has monopoly of power. I don't know. The scientists will say uh, some persons have a monopoly of power. Some persons, sorry, knows that there is God. Some persons do not believe there is God. I don't know where the narrative is coming from, but for those that believe, keep believing. But those that do not still believe, keep not believing. But they should have one thing that they believe. Well, either instinct, temperature, naturality of the earth or air. But as soon as we breathe the air, we assume something is controlling us or thereby. But we shouldn't, bring ourselves so down, so low, or condemn ourselves to damnation, whereby we, neglect, the right of other people. We shouldn't be carried away by dampling onto people's affairs, dampling into their freedom, to their privacy, not allowing them, have freedom either of speech, freedom of association, freedom of relationship, and freedom to do things accordance to oneself. If I keep talking, preaching, talking, sermoning, taba ṣe wàásù láti ẹni yìí, or wáàsí, sorry about that for those Muslim counterparts. Tí a bá lè ṣe wáàsí láti ìsìn di ọ̀la, ẹni tá gbọ́ lágbọ́ o. Then if God willing, one person does wáàsí, the other one does wáàsí, and everybody is coming together, bí ó ṣọ̀kan kákan wà, ká dey love our neighbor as ourselves. Sorry, I'm mixing the Yoruba and English, so that for those that do not understand the Yoruba, I'll still interpret in English. But because of time that does not permit us to go further, this is why I'm going to draw the curtain.